Now, as part of our Women's Day broadcast today, we're speaking to women who made some remarkable achievements. Reverend Charlotte Sibanyoni grew up in a children's home and was taken in by the Anglican Church, which eventually led her to her choice of career. The PhD candidate in Hebrew lectures at the University of Pretoria and ministers to students near the university in both English and Afrikaans. Reverend Charlotte Sibanyoni is the first black woman to be ordained in the Dutch Reformed Church. Charlotte, thank you so much for your time, or should I call you Reverend Charlotte? Thank you so much for your time, and happy Women's Day to you.
Thank you. Happy Women's Day to you too. And Charlotte is fine.
Great. Now, Charlotte, how much of your decision to be a reverend in the Anglican Church or Dutch Reformed Church was taken because you were raised by a dominee of the Anglican Church?
I think 90% of the decision was because of him and his passion for ministry, for people and helping people. And just watching him every day, going to church, going to hospitals and helping people. And I looked at him, and when he asked me, what do I want to do? I was like, I want to do exactly what you're doing. Because of his heart for people, it lit something in me as well. So, yeah.
Now, the church is infamous for its role in apartheid South Africa and fundamentally being entrenched in patriarchy. How do you reconcile this with you being the first black woman reverend at the institution?
We can't deny our history, and as the Dutch Reformed Church, I think we're taking baby steps, but we have progressed from where we were, and looking at the Dutch Reformed Church where I am, where I'm the first black woman in the church, and the work we're doing, and we are also a community trying to be a diverse community. We have a ministry called Greenleaf, where we preach to young students at Greenleaf campus who are English-speaking students, but from different backgrounds, different languages, different home languages, is Zulu and is Sotho, and we all come together and minister in English. And I think I'm very proud of the church. I'm very proud of the Dutch Reformed Church, of the steps it has taken till this far. Yes, we still have a long way to go, but I'm excited to be part of this change and part of this progress in the church.
Now, you mentioned progress. How have you instilled some form of change in the church as a woman and as a black woman for that matter?
Oh, wow. I would say I try to be an example to every black child out there that I minister to, that I encounter with, that I teach, that I go out and we do community work together, to be like, it can be done, to also show that it can be done, and to also tell them about my own life story, that no matter how the circumstance is, you can actually make it and that there is hope. So I wish to be an example myself, and I always tell my students and my youth that I'll never preach something to them that I don't believe, and I believe that there is hope, and that my life testimony is an example of it, and I want to live it through ministry, through Greenleaf, through the Dutch Reformed Church, NG Universiteitsoord, where I am. So in all our projects that we do, that is my goal and my vision, if that answers your question.
That's perfect. What are some of the challenges that you face? I mean, a lot of the times we talk about successes, but we hardly ever talk about the failures that have led us to where we are today. What are some of your challenges, specifically as it relates to the religion part of your life?
Can you repeat again? Sorry.
A lot of the times we talk about our successes, but very often we forget to mention just some of the challenges that we face in life. So from a religious point of view, what are some of the challenges that you faced in that sector?
Wow. There were times I wanted to really lose hope in ministry, in the church itself, in academia. but the challenges would be being a woman in this field, in academia, also in ministry, is very difficult. But having the support of other women who are also in ministry, who also have the same vision as you, even when we face obstacles along the way in the changes that needs to be made, as you said, that the church is a very patriarchal place to be in. It is possible. It is possible.
Now, Charlotte, before I let you go, now you have a love for languages and you lecture Hebrew at the University of Pretoria. Is that something that you've always knew you wanted to do? What drew you to languages?
I would say the passion my lecturers have for their languages. I never thought I would teach Hebrew myself, but as a first-year student at UP, having Greek and Hebrew, Greek being the language of the New Testament and Hebrew the language of the Old Testament, those professors really loved what they're doing for a living. They made me fall in love with the language itself. And also as a black child, I wanted to know the origin of this Bible that I'm reading, and also go and teach it back to the community that I think the meaning when you get it from the original language itself is more powerful and more, the presence of it is more alive within a person. And the moment I understood that in my own life and how it changed my own life, I wanted to go and share it with other young people.